Hey everybody doing, man? My name Raheem. Back with another one. This will be my third episode. This shit is called Self-Contained. Um, I named it that because I feel like that's the best word that describes me as a person, as an individual, as a young man, as a young black man, I should add. I just want everybody to know, man, uh, if you got your mindset on something, if you wishing to do something, if you got something in the back of your head that you scared to do, or you thinking twice about it because you worried about somebody's opinion or some shit like that, man, fuck all that. Do what you got to do, man. Put your shit out. Let people know who you are. Because I'm sure no matter who, you know what I'm saying, no matter who you are, no matter what it is, if it's positive and if it's motivational, somebody will fuck with it, man, and it inspires somebody. So I just want to put that out there before I get to ranting about, continuing my life and shit. And speaking on that, my life, I just feel like I've been through a lot of shit that could potentially help somebody. No, I didn't walk the same shoes as somebody else. No, I didn't have the same experiences as somebody else. But my experiences through life, I feel like it can help somebody. Like I said before, I work with young individuals, young men, young women. And just to let you know that, they go through a lot of shit, man. They go through a lot of trauma, a lot of just hardship. And I just sit back and knowing what I've been through, I'll sit back at somebody, or, I'll look at a young individual and be like, damn, this person ain't got nobody to talk to. But if they did, fuck, what I'm saying? It could possibly change their life. Like it did for me coming up. I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, man. And another thing that I'm gonna keep reiterating is that my mom, one of the big talks that we had before she passed away, was, you know what I'm saying? She always told me, Heem, tell your story. That's what she called me, Heem, short for Raheem. But my mom was, man, she's one of my biggest inspirations ever in life. She taught me everything I know. I'm fucking standing here because of her. I will always owe everything I do to my mom, man. I love my mom to death. But later on down the story, I didn't mean to get all, emotional and shit with that one. But later on down the story, y'all really see why, my mom is my rock and always will be, man. And she taught me a lot of shit. And the stuff that we've been through, I feel like I want to tell the world. You know what I'm saying? That was something that we always talked about because she always remembered me, always having this fucking great memory of my childhood. Like, boy, how the hell you remember that? But I just always told her, like, I don't know. But shit, I guess I remember it because it's trauma. You got to think, if you, not to say, nobody, if you don't go through trauma, I don't know if this shit is proven or not, but you less likely, you probably won't remember half of the shit that happened in your childhood. But if you're going through traumatic experiences, you'll remember. And shit, man, I'm gonna have to say the majority of my childhood was, not to say I didn't have fun, I wasn't a kid, or I didn't, live a regular childhood and no shit like that, but half of that shit was trauma. Trauma that I was around, trauma that I grew up in, trauma that I was fucking, like literally in. Whether it was in a household, whether I was going to one of my family members' house, shit was just all, shit was fucked up. But at the same time, shit was fucked up, but it was always love though. But with that being said, man, I'm gonna get into where I left off at on the last episode, talking about the move, seeing, dealing with the whole, I couldn't really express myself because I didn't really know how. I was so young, I couldn't go to nobody because I was taught from the beginning to that age. I was 4 or 5 years old. It's just like, nigga, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You can't show no weakness, just like I said. But yeah, that, seeing my mom, pop split up, seeing, literally split up. I'm leaving him, seeing my dad's side of the family, leaving Grams, leaving auntie, uncles, all that shit, cousins. But yeah, man, honestly, that was probably the best decision that my mom shit crazy when you look back on it. But that was the best decision my mom made for me, man. Um, as an individual, that's how I feel. But to carry on with the shit, we moved to Leicester Street, right by the lake. Man, I was fucking 5 at the time. Getting into kindergarten. My first school was fucking Bella Vista in the Dubs. Um, man, I remember going back. I just remember you being in a classroom, and you know what I'm saying. Obviously, people don't know you and shit, so you already got that energy going into the classroom and shit. So I was a really quiet kid. I would just sit back and not really say much. I was always, like I said before, fucking observant, just looking at shit, just, understanding like, damn, I'm in the classroom now. I gotta like, I'm not at home no more. I can't do certain shit that I was able to do at home. Like, this is real structure. This is real, you know what I'm saying? ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, all that shit. But I brought that up because me being so young, it was just like every day I would go to school, right? But it was crazy because, yeah, you think since you're so young, you in kindergarten and shit, it's just like, oh, he was, you know what I'm saying? He lived the life as a regular, kindergarten kid. But nah, the shit, I brought that up for a reason because as I'm going to school, fucking in the household, it was completely dysfunction. I would see my mom, you know what I'm saying, argue, get cussed out, get beat up. The shit is heavy. So if you're listening, I just want to show you how you can persevere through some shit, man. But the stories that I'm gonna bring up, it's a little heavy. I just want you to just stay with me and just please just, you know what I'm saying, tap in with me and just let me know that you appreciate it. If you don't, it's all good. You could move on, no problem. But I feel like some kid out there, they'll love to listen to this shit. They'll love to see somebody that kind of went through the same shit that they've been through or similar. But yeah, man, back on that shit, like I would see my mom, you know what I'm saying, get beat up in the household, and that shit, it was so tough because at an early age I would see my mom, drink. But again, she would do that type of shit because she was dealing with so much. You know what I'm saying? We already didn't have it all. You know what I'm saying? We was on welfare, food stamps, all that type of shit. And the apartment rather on Leicester Street, it was a 2-bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Her room and me and my brother room. I always remember that shit because that was the time where it was a lot of domestic violence happening. I'm talking about I'm fucking supposed to be asleep for school and you got fucking cops at the door. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what the fuck going on because we had nosy ass neighbors. So you dealing with that type of shit, man. You waking up and you understanding that what just happened last night was some crazy ass shit, but you see your mom, the whole vibe is different though. Like they didn't slept the shit off. You know what I'm saying? I guess you can say they or my mom wanted us to forget, you know what I'm saying, what happened. But me, I would never forget you know what I'm saying, trauma. Like the shit was traumatizing. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like me being so young, I was hearing a whole bunch of shit, hella disrespectful shit. A lot of fucking rumbling around the house, shit breaking. They on the floor fucking tussling, rumbling and shit. And it didn't make it no better because the manager, this nigga, he stayed downstairs. Chinese dude, he come up, you know what I'm saying, knocking on the door, being hella nosy and shit, see what's going on. And looking back, it was like my mom, she tried to, make sure everything was kind of lightweight covered up and shit. Not only for us, but for the simple fact she was on Section 8. And she knew, just like I know now, like if you have too many incidents or if it's too much chaos going on and you disturbing the peace and shit, it's a wrap. Like they gonna kick you out. They gonna report your ass and they gonna kick you out. So that was something that I'm looking back on now, like, damn, this is why my mom did certain shit or said certain shit. You know what I'm saying? For shit to be cool. But with that being said, also, you got fucking mind you, I'm in fucking kindergarten, my brother third grade and shit. We some young ass boys or whatever, but at school, we would go to school, but the mentality, the shit started to be completely different from somebody who would get 8 hours of sleep and get the proper nutrition and what I'm saying, have all that proper shit, school materials, all types of shit, like ready for school. Yeah, we would go to school, but mentally I wasn't fucking there. I was thinking about what the fuck happened the night before. You know what I'm saying? Seeing cops, knock on the fucking door at 4, 5 in the morning while I'm a little ass dude answering the door for a fucking cop, looking up at him and shit. He asking me, where's your mom? Is anybody home type shit? You know what I'm saying? And man, looking back on that shit, my mom, she'll come out and try to, cover the story up, but it'll be fucking very unfortunate because she'll fuck around and, have a mark on her face or chin or eye or whatever the fuck, whatever it was, bro. But that shit was trauma, man. And I want people to know, if you're dealing with that shit now and if you dealt with that shit, first of all, it's easy to tell you to stay strong and, try to get over it. You're grown now. You can't remember that or all that shit. But man, just try your best to turn whatever you went through into a positive. Like, please. With that being said, it was just, I remember we weren't really on Leicester Street for so long. I think it was, can't remember the exact date, but probably like 8 months or some shit. I remember one of my mom's best friends from San Francisco, where she grew up at and shit. When her baby daddy lived down the street from us in Oakland, right? So me and my brother, we outside riding bikes, throwing football and shit. And he see us, and mind you, I didn't even know who dude was, but he stopped my brother like, hey, what you doing over here, whatever. He like, we live here. So dude, OG, he come walk to our doorstep, knock on the door. And he like, Keisha? He like, what the whole thing was crazy because he was from where she's from, right? And they meet each other and she like, what you doing over here? Mind you, my mom's best friend, her name was also Keisha. And her daughter, my mom's friend daughter, that was her dad. You feel me? So he instantly called her, the other Keisha, and was like, hey, such and such live over here, whatever. So man, long story short, from my mom dealing with all of that shit in the house, fighting and domestic violence and shit. I just remember one night, my auntie, I call her my auntie Keisha, she come to the house with shit, about 4 or 5 of my mom's closest friends, you feel me? So they come to the house, they like, girl, what you doing over here? Like, where you been at? Yeah, she telling them like, girl, I just remember I had to leave. I had to get up out of there. Right? So mind you, I'm just very observant. So I'm just in the middle of their conversation being hella nosy and shit. Next thing I know, it's hella late. My mom, she tell me and my brother, put some clothes in the backpack. And we dip off with the with my mom friends. Come to find out, they drove us back across the bridge. Mind you, it had been some time that went by because me and Chew, we in school, all that type of shit, right? So time go by, they come pick us up. We go back to San Francisco. This time we driving up to Potrero Hill. Mind you, the Army Street projects, that shit got tore down. So anybody that was on Section 8 and housing or whatever had to, they had to go to different areas and shit. So my grandma and my family, my mom, my dad, mom, and my aunties and shit, my dad, they all moved to Potrero Hill. So that night we drove over there. We go with them, and then I remember we was parked on the hill. Can't remember what street it was, but we parked on the hill, and I'll never forget this shit. We got up, and then we walked down. If you've been in Potrero Hill, you will know if you're going into a house, you got the clothesline shit, and then you got the walkway, and then you got the inside the little building, where's your little ass apartment or whatever. So you walking in, mind you, they walking in, it's hella late, and remember the relationship that I had with my dad's mom, my grandmother. I'm walking and they was just like, Raheem, go knock on the door, right? So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm going. As I'm walking though, my grandma window is open. And I look up, mind you, I hadn't seen her and it's been a minute. It's been a minute, like fucking 6, 7 months. I don't know. It's felt like forever, but it's been a minute. I ain't seen her in hella long. She was in the kitchen, fucking looking down, just looking down. I'm like, oh shit, grandma. And she looked, she was like, what? And then, feel me, she come over, open the door. Ah, man, I was happy as fuck to see my grandma again. Auntie upstairs, everybody upstairs. I'm seeing my old, you know what I'm saying, the familiar faces. You know what I'm saying? I'm hella juice. Hugging them. And then, long story short on that, my mom, she was just like, asked me and my brother, asked me and True, like, hey, do you guys want to, you know what I'm saying, y'all gonna stay here? And shit, I don't know if it was summertime or not, but we stayed there for it was a cool little minute. Cool little minute, man. So this time, this shit was crazy, man. So after being excited, seeing my grandma, my aunties and shit, uncles, whatever, in the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, where the fuck is my dad at? Like, you feel me? I'm juiced and shit, but I'm like, bro, where's my dad, right? So my grandma, we carry on through the night or whatever. This shit is crazy how I remember this. But carry on through the night, grandma asking us if we hungry and shit. We go throw on some pajamas and shit. They like, yo, you know what I'm saying? What clothes y'all bring? Mind you, we ain't bring a lot of shit because I don't remember. We ain't bring a lot of shit. So old school project shit, man, they like, you know what I'm saying? My grandma handed us 2 big ass t-shirts. We put that on. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, I'm looking around like, bro, these niggas don't know I pee in the bed still, bro. So, nigga, I gotta figure something out. If I end up going tonight or something, I gotta change my shit or something. But that's some funny shit. But in the morning, wake up and man, my dad voice, this nigga was upstairs and he was like, hey, come upstairs. And I'm like, I wake up, I'm like, oh shit. So I go up there. Man, I ain't seen my dad in hella long, man. And he just it's father-son shit. He grabbed my head, gave me a big ass hug and shit. You know what I'm saying? Gave me a little tap on the chest. He like, nigga, how you been? I'm just like, man, good, daddy. Smiling like a motherfucker. And that's another thing too, man. I love my dad to death. Like, I swear to God, man. Robert Owens, you don't know what you've done for me, man. Like, this shit is crazy. But anyway, Pops, I love you. But that moment right there was special because, that bond with us has never went away. Me, my brother, my brother and Pops, that bond had never went away. And to this day, every time we see each other, we smile like a motherfucker. It ain't like, nigga, it could be something serious going on. No disrespect or nothing, but like, nigga, we gonna smile at each other. That's just what we do. It's crazy. But it's a special bond that we have. But yeah, so Pops, he get us up or whatever. Mind you, I don't know if it was summer or not, but we chilling like a motherfucker. I just knew I ain't had to go to school. I'm chilling. But at the same time, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? You go outside and you realize, nigga, you still in the same fucked up environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean to talk down on it or nothing because, listen, if I ain't went through none of that shit, I wouldn't be here today talking to you. So I'm gonna just be real raw with you, talk to you, and again, I'm gonna say it again and again. Hopefully you get inspired by this shit because it inspired me. Man, so you go outside. He take us to the store all the way up there by the fucking by the Potrero Hill Gym, yeah. And fucking the school, what was that school called? Star King or some shit? I forgot. I think it was Star King. But anyway, he take us to the little store. Mind you, on the way to the store from where my grandma lived at, now you gotta really walk up through the whole projects. You gotta walk up through the whole projects and to get to the store, and then you gotta bring your ass all the way back down. So all the way back up and all the way back down, you seeing a whole bunch of shit. Mind you, this is a project, so this shit is 24/7 action. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers smoked out. You got motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, you just seeing the whole culture, the whole, everybody out, the whole vibe of this shit was just like, it's something crazy to see. Trust me, if you've been up there or if you've been through, you know what I'm saying, some type of project, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You look to your left, you look to your right, it's action going on. You know what I'm saying? Whether you see niggas shooting dice, you see somebody getting hired up, somebody fighting, getting their ass whooped. I could go on all day about the shit, but back to me realizing, again, me being observant to the shit, it was just like, shit, we'd get back to my grandma home, you know what I'm saying? And I'm realizing now, like, damn, it's hella people in the house. You know what I'm saying? It's only, I mean, it was one, two, it was, she had 3 bedroom, 3 small ass bedroom in her Potrero Hill home. And you know what I'm saying? My grandma, she dedicated her, you know what I'm saying? All her time, all her, you know what I'm saying, compassion went to her children. And I say that because, you know what I'm saying, my dad had a room, his brother had a room, my auntie had a room. I'll never forget. But in that household, it was still, you know what I'm saying, growing up, it was fun as fuck. I ain't gonna lie, because it was me, my brother, and my little cousin Adrian at the time. And, you know, when she could, my little cousin Regine, she'd come through, we'd be chilling, fucking running around like little rugrats and shit, getting our ass whooped by my grandma because she did not play. If we was fucking up, mind you, we was running in and out the house, throwing shit, breaking shit. And when we got in trouble, we got in trouble too. I had to throw this little part in there because she'll grab some shit and whoop the shit out of you. And I remember my little ass, I was starting to develop a little anger problem. And, you know, that shit would get out of hand sometime and she'll put me in my place. You know what I'm saying? But back to the household part, it was, you know, shit started to get a little, man, it was a little difficult, man, because when you growing up, bro, and you see certain shit, like I said, I saw my mom drink, and you know what I'm saying, step pops, they over there in Oakland and shit at the time. I'm sure, who knows what the fuck was going on when we was gone, you know what I'm saying? But I'm sure the domestic violence didn't stop. I'm sure her arguing and all that shit. But on this side with my grandma, we wasn't witnessing my mom go through that shit on a day-to-day basis. But what we would see is, you know what I'm saying, we had individuals that we'll call uncle or some type of family member or some auntie. They in the kitchen getting high, you know what I'm saying, off crack, off heroin, off all types of shit. And I don't know exactly what my brother was at the times where I would see this shit or witness this shit, but you know what I'm saying? I'll be a little nosy motherfucker going up in there like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Seeing motherfuckers over the stove with the, you know what I'm saying, with the spoon and shit smoking on. Man, that shit was traumatizing. I see, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers using heroin, needles and shit around the house. Like, and again, my grandma, she did her best to keep that shit away from us. But since I was so nosy, you go looking for something, bro, you gonna find it. So I was always into shit, just looking at shit, observing shit. And I would just see people high as fuck. And this is very often, you feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? That shit, it was still normal though. That's why I'm bringing it up, because yeah, I was around that type of shit, but it was normal. I never, thought twice to be like, oh, what am I, you know what I'm saying? What am I around, or what am I, nah, the shit was normal. So I never, you know what I'm saying? I never said nothing. It was normal as fuck to me. So yeah, by the time the shit became normal, it was just like, I just started to adapt this mentality now. You feel me? Like, I have my little anger. I get mad and shit hella fast, hella easy. I got aggression. I'm going outside. I'm getting into it with motherfuckers. I'm fighting people and shit that I don't even know. We just outside playing on like some football and on the little grass shit, and motherfucker hit me too hard or bump me too hard. It's like, nigga, what's the next thing you do? You fight, nigga. And that was something that, it wasn't right for, a kid so young to be doing that type of shit, but it was just, you know what I'm saying? It was shit that I would see, so I would do it. And again, I think that led me to doing shit like that, because my brother would tell you I was a fucking hothead. But again, this is the shit I was seeing. And And shout out to my auntie, like, man, she put me on to hip hop, to like real rap music and shit. Her boyfriend at the time, he would play certain shit. He would play little movies and shit, smoking hella weed. And I'd be a young ass, like I said, I was into a whole bunch of shit. So I'll be in a room with them, hella nosy. She had to tell my ass to get out sometime. But most of the time she didn't. But again, I mean, that's a big thanks to her because I was able to, you know what I'm saying? This is the time where uh, I was looking at like Master P movies and shit at a young ass age, and this shit, it was crazy because it changed my mind. Now I'm thinking that I want to be like them. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that I want to be like the songs that I hear and shit. So dealing with that, going outside, you know what I'm saying, getting into fights and shit, I got this little swag about me now that nigga I think I'm the people that I listen to now. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that's a major thing in today's world because, you know, these songs that come out, these young teenagers that get influenced by music, that's why I never judge somebody, bro, because I know exactly that transition they going through. I know exactly how they internalizing that music and trying to live it and all that extra shit. But at the same time, I'm here talking to y'all, giving y'all advice. So I'm telling you now, you'll see how that all that shit kind of transition out of my mind and, you know what I'm saying, out of like my personality and shit. Cause, you know, a lot of that anger and all that shit I had built up and I was fucking letting my aggression out on people and shit. That was because of the shit that I was going through, the trauma that I was dealing with, the trauma that I was seeing motherfuckers use drugs, seeing motherfuckers fight, seeing motherfuckers argue. Again, I adapted that behavior, but I was just around it so much. It was just like, fuck it. It was nothing that I sat there and fucking thought about. It was just something that it was just something that just flew out of me. You know what I'm saying? Something that just started to pour out of me, I guess. I don't know. And another fucking huge, honestly, when I say that I was listening to music and all that shit, yeah, I was. And honestly, that was like in the next room. That was my auntie's room. But right here, my uncle room, my Uncle Ronnie, my Uncle Rambo, nigga. Man, I love my uncle to death. Rest in peace, uncle. I love you. Cousin Ronnie, what's up with it? I know we don't speak much, but I love you to death. But man, my Uncle Ronnie, that was somebody that I idolized. You know what I'm saying? My uncle, he was always fresh, always, you know what I'm saying? He was the first dude I saw with the Timbs. You feel me? Like the nigga had the black Timbs, the wheat Timbs and shit, coming out with the puff jacket. You feel me? Just like this nigga was always just swagged up. And I'm like, damn, he always had hella money on him too. And I'm like, and I knew that because obviously from what he was doing, selling dope and shit, pushing shit or whatever. But I would ask people for dollars and shit, but my uncle, I'd be scared to ask him because that nigga, he'll like, I don't know. It's just every time he was just a fucking mean dude. But I mean, don't get it twisted. He loved his nephews. He loved his sons. He loved everybody to death. His mom, grandma, and his sister, my auntie. You feel me? But my Uncle Ronnie, he was something else, man. Like that's where I get a lot of my just my toughness from. Like if anybody want to know the way I am, the way I'm, how stern, you know what I'm saying, I am, I get it from him. Because he was a nigga that, you know what I'm saying, stood up for what he believed in, didn't let nobody, you know what I'm saying, step over him. Nigga, that's when I found out that's when I started to realize, like, bro, you better not ever let nobody talk to you, you know what I'm saying, crazy. You know what I'm saying? You fuck all that. Like, that's why I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to do something, man, go do that shit. Don't let nobody tell you. Don't let nobody do none of that shit. I remember this is one fond memory I got of my uncle, man. Me and my brother, man, we wanted bikes for Christmas. And he was like, hey, he gave us the little, you know, in the hood and shit, we get their little catalog. You got to circle what you want and you give it to, I don't know, whoever, you know what I'm saying, for them to get you a present or some shit. But me and my brother, we saw some bikes on the newspaper or something, circled that shit. I think it was a Toys R Us magazine or something. But we circled it. We're like, uncle, we want a bike. Mind you, he ain't never really, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that he ain't get us shit, but he ain't like spoil us like that. But when he got us something, man, he got us something. Like if it was kicks, if it was, man, so we circled the bike, brought it up to him, and he fucking, I remember Christmas came, and he fucking got us the bikes. And we took the motherfuckers back to Oakland. I'll never forget that shit. We was hella juice, me and my brother. And then another memory, real quick, my rest in peace uncle, I gotta tell this. But funny story, we took the bus down to, we was at McDonald's on Mission Street, 24th and Mission. That McDonald's right there across the street from the bar. But we in that motherfucker, we eating, I think it was about to close or something. And then the worker, this nigga come out sweeping while we eating or whatever. My uncle was like, feel me, excuse my language, he was like, nigga, don't you see me eating with my nephews? And I guess cuz didn't hear him, he kept sweeping and shit. He was like, nigga, don't you see us eating in front of, you know what I'm saying? And cuz got up, got his ass up out there. I'm like, damn, this nigga just scared the shit out of me. But again, it wasn't about, you know what I'm saying, you trying to punk somebody or something. It's like, bro, come on, bro. Like, nigga, respect our space. Like, what are you doing, bro? But anyway, that right there, I ain't gonna lie to you. It taught me, like, I mean, speak up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just finna have nobody, you know, just coming in your space, disrespecting your, like, this your personal space, bro. You eating, man, you ain't gonna handle, you know what I'm saying? And again, you don't have to handle it that way, because that shit was funny, but you know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Like, hey, I'm sitting right here with my people, bro. Can you scoot over? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that was a little story about my uncle. So yeah, I'm gonna close this episode by just letting y'all know, just a little recap of that stage of my life where, you know, yeah, I got reunited with my pop side of the family and shit, but this is the time where I also saw the other side of my family, like, you know what I'm saying? You start to realize, like, damn, where is the balance? Where is the opportunities at? You know what I'm saying? But again, I was so young, I really wasn't thinking like that back then. But what I did know is that certain behaviors that I kind of witnessed on the other side with my mom or whatever, it wasn't no different. You know what I'm saying? I was still seeing domestic violence. I was still seeing drug abuse. I was still seeing, you know what I'm saying, alcoholics and shit, and the consequences of it. Cops still out. Fucking violence here, violence there. Motherfuckers getting whooped. Motherfuckers getting shot. Seeing yellow tape all around the neighborhood. Different incidents and shit. Like it was all trauma that I was dealing with. But also, I wanted to also close it by really talking about how that shit kind of affected me as an individual, as a young man. Like I was starting to develop an anger issue. You know what I'm saying? I was starting to get mad at stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? I was starting to fight because I just had anger built up in me from the shit that I would see. It wasn't always great, but this is why, you know, I was always taught the other side of the shit, like the discipline part from my grandma. Like, yeah, she was doing her thing. People was getting high even in the same household, which was a dysfunctional household. But also, she started to teach me, like, motherfucker, if you keep fucking up, it's consequences. I'm gonna whoop your ass, and you better get woke. You better be woke from this shit for real. Because if you keep doing this shit, you're gonna keep getting your ass whooped. And I didn't want that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of helped me realize, like, all right, I can't be out here fucking up. You know what I'm saying? So my grandma played a huge role in keeping me straight and making sure that I knew if I did something wrong, I was gonna get handled for it. But yeah, man, the next episode I'll be talking about when me and my mom we went back to Oakland and we moved on over to, man, the intro. When you see the intro, you see me walking in front of the apartment. Brookdale, man. Brookdale. When I say the shit all started, I want y'all to stay tuned and just keep listening to my story, man, and start to see how this shit all came together. We ain't done yet. Still pushing, still striving, still want more for myself, man. But I'm more confident in doing these videos. This is only my third one. But I say that because I just want, I want to inspire somebody. I don't care if, you know what I'm saying, a whole bunch of people don't like it. Doesn't matter to me. I know one person is going to help somebody. and that's all I care for. I'm here for y'all, man. Again, tap in with me if you want to chop it up, talk. Hopefully I can get you through some hard times with the shit that I'm doing. And please just continue to support, continue to watch, and I'm here, man. I'll see y'all next time.